Here's the blunt truth. Most international MBAs outside of Ivy League or top tier institutions like INSEAD, LBS are not respected in India because of a mix of perception, market economics, and a deeply ingrained prestige bias. Today, let's unpack it. First, India's obsession with pedigree. We have a brand first mindset. Just like IITs and IIMs dominate domestic respect, internationally, only the absolute creme de la creme of B schools, that's the Harvard, Wharton, Stanford, INSEAD, are valued. The moment you say MBA from X university in Canada or UK, people mentally compare it to an IIM A, B, C, and if it doesn't beat or match that, it's considered lesser. This is brutal, but it's real. A mid-tier international MBA often holds less brand weight than a top Indian MBA, even if the learning experience abroad was better. Return on investment just doesn't add up. That's point two. Let's say someone spends 50 to 70 lakhs on a B school abroad. When they come back to India, employers don't see them as significantly more valuable than an IIM grad. Often, they are offered similar or lower salaries than what they expected, especially in non-tech roles. The result is disillusionment, and employers know this, so they prefer to hire someone local who understands the Indian context and comes at a cheaper price. 3. The mismatch between Indian job market preferences. In India, employers are often looking for deep local networks, comfort with Indian business practices, and cost effectiveness. Many international MBA grads are trained for Western markets with curriculum, cases, and cultural expectations set accordingly. That doesn't always translate into strong performance in an Indian context, especially in traditional sectors like FMCG, BFSI, or even consulting. 4. Lack of strong alumni networks in India. Outside of the Ivy League and top European schools, most international B schools simply don't have a big or powerful Indian alumni presence. And in India, your currency network and in India, your alumni network is currency. It opens doors, especially at senior levels. So unless you're at a school that has built a strong India connect, example INSEAD, LBS, Oxford, you're often invisible to key decision makers back home. 5. Immigration fallback plans shape the perception. Let's be honest, many go to international MBAs not for the learning, but also as a plan B to settle abroad. And Indian employers know this. They're typically skeptical. Will this person stick around, or are they here just because they didn't apply for the PR yet? Even if it's not true, this perception lingers, especially when someone returns home because post-study work visas didn't work out. 6. The rise of Indian MBA alternatives. ISB, IIMs, and even private B schools like XLRI, MDI, SPJIMR today offer strong placements, better ROI, and robust domestic networks. So the need to go abroad for a respected MBA has reduced. Unless it's top tier, most employers see international MBAs as optional, not essential. Final thought. An international MBA can still be worth it. 1. If you're aiming to settle abroad. 2. You are getting into a globally recognized school. Or 3. You are pivoting to a niche or a cross-border role where the international exposure truly matters. But if your plan is to return and build a career in India, you have to be very, very selective because perception, placement, and payback don't always work in your favor. If someone already has an international MBA and has returned to India recently, especially from a mid-tier or non-Ivy League school, it's not game over. But you have to play the game differently. The brand won't carry you, so you will need to create your own credibility. Here's what that looks like. Number 1, reframe the narrative. Stop waiting for people to be impressed by the degree. In India, it won't happen automatically. So you'll need to market your experience, not the brand. Focus on global exposure, how it shaped your thinking, cross-cultural teamwork and problem solving. Any industry pivots or skills that you gained, example, big data, consulting, strategy, etc. The unique lens you now bring back to Indian problems. Treat your MBA as a differentiator, not a trophy. Number 2, pick the right entry point back into India. You can't expect to parachute into a 50 lakh job in India just because you studied abroad. But if you chose your re entry angle well, you can build really fast. Three good strategies that I would advise: join MNCs with global operations. They value international education and might fast track you. Look at roles in strategy, business development, marketing, HR transformation, etc. Look at startups or scale ups, especially those with global ambitions or Western clients. They often love hiring talent that's worked or learned abroad. Use your niche. If you picked up a skill like people analytics, sustainability, or digital strategy, use that niche to wedge your way into industries going through transformation currently. Three, leverage your alumni and LinkedIn like crazy. And I mean crazy. The alumni network of your college may not help you much in India, but your undergrad, pre MBA network, and even your city region based groups are great assets. Message people directly with sharp positioning. Say something like, I just returned from an MBA from X country, focused on this particular skill, looking to explore roles in this industry, open to suggestions or connections. Start sharing insightful content on LinkedIn about your takeaways from your MBA, but make it useful to others. This builds credibility. 4. Anchor yourself in value, not the degree. Indian employers can be sometimes blunt and obtuse. What problem can you solve for me today? So you need to stop marketing your MBA and start pitching. It could be a capability like a GTM strategy, market expansion, org design, a domain expertise, example retail ops, fintech strategy, etc. A fresh lens, example I studied ESG in the EU, and here's how I can apply it in Indian firms. 5. Be willing to take a step sideways or down temporarily. You might need to enter at a slightly junior or lateral level and prove your worth. That's okay. Many Indian employers adopt a test, fire, promote, fast model. Once you show value, career progression is less about pedigree and more about results. And finally, think long term. Build your own niche. Once you've found your footing, you can position yourself as a cross border expert, someone who brings a global point of view to Indian problems, a consultant or an advisor in a niche space. You can even freelance or build IP around your MBA learning. In a few years, you could outplace IIM grads because of the uniqueness you bring, but only if you stop playing their game and start playing your own. If your MBA won't speak for you in India, you need to become its best spokesperson by demonstrating, not declaring your value.